Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my Ascension Messages. My name is Bobby Richardson, and I'll be your guide for today. So today we're going to channel. I was told to channel through Mother Earth. I didn't exactly know what was going to come up, but I did go outside just before and put my feet in the ground and got these really cool messages coming through. And yeah, there's quite a bit of a storyline to it. But before we begin, I am a channeler, and I channel through all my higher consciousness, connects to the Pleiadians, the CYANIANS, Mother Earth, elementals, and humanity's consciousness. Please be aware that as I go through these channelings, I can go deeper and deeper, so it can become quite informative and a lot more wisdom coming through as the channeling goes along. Also I'm an intuitive counselor. If you want a one-on-one Zoom reading, the link is down below. Just go to my website. Yes. So this is what had happened. I didn't even put two and two together until just 5 minutes ago. Hey, Erica. Hey, Nicole. Good to see you guys. I'm back at my normal times. I might get my crew back again on my chat bar, which would be nice. Just turning on my aircon. So the elder that I was working with just randomly put up this post that was shared by one of the other people that she connected to when she went around the world. So she went around the world and she was told by her elders to go around the world to find specific people, and I was one of them. And she put this post up, and I don't generally go into any of her stuff anymore, because I'm looking at, really finding my own power now instead. And I have been for the last few years. So with that, for her to have something that's come up on my post, on my Facebook post page, is something that I always will adhere to or listen to or what I'll read or whatever. And this was a symbol that she pulled up, and she was asking us to feel into the symbol. And I kind of read it, and then I put the symbol aside, and I thought this could be something that I could do a channeling with or channeling to or feel into. And so I asked her if I could share it with you guys, and then take it further. In the meantime, I'm just, doing my usual, and then thought, what am I going to do today? What's spirit want? What's the alignment of this week? And they said channel through Mother Earth. And Mother Earth's like, I could just feel this kind of welling of excitement or something happening. And I didn't get any messages whatsoever, but I put my feet in the ground this morning because I was told to. And then I just connected with her, told her my name, told her what it was all about, and then boom, all these messages started flooding through, and they took me through to the times of, the courts of, the round tables and the wizards and all of that sort of stuff. She took me to there. And there was a really profound reason why. And also then dragons came up as well, in the caves and stuff. And I'm like, hang on a sec, two and two together. I had already asked Parisha if I could actually give you this symbol. But this is a symbol that she gave us. Says, know this symbol. I'll read what it says in a minute, but I'll just show it to you right here, right now. And she says, this is a Cherokee ancient symbol. I have it burned into my memory from my childhood environment. And when I see it, I am reminded of the days of the dragons and how real they are. And that's so ironic, putting the two and two together, because here I am putting my feet in the earth, not even thinking of that symbol or anything. And we went back to the days of the courts and the round tables and the knights and on all of that. And then of course dragons come into that, and we're talking about interdimensions and all sorts of things. So this is what Mother Earth was telling me. I'm just going to try to get back into her energy again. I kind of wish that I was outside because it just flowed through me so easily. And I might sort of set things up a bit out there because I think I have to go on location a bit more when I channel. But she was talking about, or she was telling me about humanity waking up. And then she took me back to the days just as there was Atlantis, Lemuria. There was a moment where there was a lot of mixed up. Humanity had the fall, and when the fall happened, meaning that they lost their connection to the intuitive side of themselves, and then going on the journey or the adventure of learning all about logic and the masculine and the outside world. There was a bit of a time there where it was all kind of confused, and as we started to pull through, the magic was still pulling through into humanity's consciousness because it was so fresh and known from, it's kind of like a newborn baby being born into something else, right? So it still knows the threads of energy environment. So when you're speaking to your children, always make sure that your energy is in alignment with what you're saying, because that's what they're actually feeding off, your energy, not like they're learning off your energy, not what the babble, what you say. They just learn that later on. Any case, going back to this, she showed me a space of where it was all mixed up, and then it was all coming back and like back into alignment, but more into alignment of the logical mind. So the masculine was going to take over. So there was this understanding from those that were very spiritually inclined, new secrets, new magic, new things. To them, it wasn't secrets. To them, it wasn't out of the ordinary, but they knew that those things, those high energy frequencies that were locked into understanding our environment as magical, or our environment as soul connection, connecting to plant life, animal life, Mother Earth herself, being able to talk through her, being able to shift our environments, just through going through portals and all sorts of stuff, into other alignments of dimensions, different dimensional spaces on Earth, and also connection to other planets as well, where those planets can be almost walked through into from specific locations on Earth, portals that were there. All of these things were locked in, and when they were locked in and kept in a kind of a containment field of some sort, through the DNA of those that did this way back. And when they were alive then, and they went, oh my gosh, we've got to safeguard these entrances, safeguard these understandings of ourselves and that, so that when it comes to this time right here, right now, we can actually reawaken them. So then, but only through the right DNA. So there would be people that were there at that time when these secrets were covered or kept in secret, and when they actually happened, their souls knew the understanding of why they were kept in secret, knew the understandings of the actual magic or the abilities and all that sort of stuff that were held, and kept in lock and key kind of thing away, but still held within their DNA. So then these families were born and reborn with this codes that were kind of locked in. And each time that they tried to bring this magic, this wisdom forth for humanity, because humanity was going on a journey of the masculine mind only seeking outside themselves, and it was meant to be locked away. Every time they tried to become more authentically themselves, of knowing that wisdom, they were persecuted. They had to be, because of the journey that humanity had taken to learn all about the logical side of themselves. So now when I put my feet in the ground, she was telling me the story of a lot of it happened around that era of Arthur, and I mean, that's just one story. She said there were so many stories. There's so many wizards, so many witches, so many that held magic and understanding of way more than what our perceived environment is now, which is only created through our us looking outside ourselves, which only makes certain people that of greed and to be in charge. So when we say no to them, then there needs to be this up-leveling of reawakening this magic. And so certain people out there are going to have these codes that are hidden within the DNA, their DNA, that they have this passion or desire to learn about that again. But it's not just learning, she said. It's actually reconnecting to her, because when they start to reconnect to her, Mother Earth, she's going to illuminate. They showed me like cells like lighting up in the DNA because of the clarity of the mind are now being put in its place, the logical mind being put in its place, so that it now has the clarity or the wholeness of oneself, has this clarity of not allowing something where it was persecuted life after life to be acknowledged or keeping it contained anymore, because the fear is dropped, because we start to realize when we start to do the shadow work that we're reawakening to our true authentic self, that we are actually aligning to these new gifts that are already there within the DNA. So the family environments of many that were born from other planetary environments, their soul might be very fresh from Pleiades or from Acrturians or from Sirius, or even from another dimensional space and on Earth. And then their souls have chosen specific families where they might have, your mother might be perceived as a witch in past lives and gone through, they might have had a lot of trauma within themselves. And so that family, though, was worth going through the trauma that you went through with that family environment, because they held the secrets, right? They have the DNA that is more connected to the mysteries and the magic that are going to be awoken now for you to start to ignite, so that you can bring back this magic from within. And it all comes from connection. So connection is a big deal at the moment with Mother Earth, because the powers to be at the moment, the powers that are in charge at the moment, those ones that we've given our power away to, and the big corporations, the supermarkets and all that sort of stuff, the foods that we eat and everything like that, it's all going to come crumbling down through their own demise, because their own demise is going to try to contain like a logical mind does, those and control those that are you, right? The people of this world. And so they're going to all of a sudden, put the prices up. All of a sudden, it's not just a barcode on your phone that you need to be able to shop at that supermarket. It's an implant. It's a microchip or some kind like that. So then those sort of things are going to push humanity back into the reigniting something new within themselves, understanding that they can't rely on that outside force anymore, which was only trying to control them anyway, that they go back within themselves. And there's certain family environments that are going to ignite with these specific DNA codes of understanding specific things that were in the way back in those days of King Arthur and all that. That's the only way I can tell you. I mean, on the other side of the world, that's only in England, right? So then there's those that hold the keys of the mysteries that were in India and in Peru and in, on Australia and all of that, so that we all have our different time in that time between when the Atlantis Lemuria fell, and then there was a space of getting used to that, like a newborn baby being born, and then we remembered the magic, but we weren't quite into our logical mind. That's the time when there was all the secrets kept in like locked away or something like that in mysterious caves, mountaintops, and it's going to be a shift also that So certain things are going to be found, certain shifts are going to be made so that the so-called alignments of Earth that have held these power points are going to shift, so that the ones that think that they have control over it will no longer have control over it. Why is that happening? Because humanity and their consciousness is literally shifting within ourselves, and so everything in their environment shifts with it. And when we come back into empowerment, that was holding us hostage, which was our logical brain saying that everything outside of us is the only real thing, and our feelings don't count and our intuition doesn't count, that ends up falling back into its normal position. It's not that it's completely disregarded, because we love our material world that we've created, but it's put back in its normalcy, in its place where it should be. And so then too will those that are in charge, which are only a reflection of our logical mind taking over our intuitive mind, or a masculine mind taking over a feminine mind. So the more that the certain females in that are going to come into being guides and being in leadership roles and all of that sort of stuff, they start to ignite their cells that are linked to their body, that these beautiful, our ancestors and that our grandmothers or great grandfathers and everything and all that held the specific codes are going to be enlightened within you. And so that can only happen when you come within your balanced mind yourself. So you come within your balanced mind. You no longer play the game of everything outside of me is more worthy than how I'm feeling, which everything outside of you actually comes from how you're actually feeling in moment to moment to moment anyway. You're creating your world from the inside out. That all changes. So yeah, Mother Earth wanted to come through with the fact that all of these amazing, cool things are going to be rediscovered through specific family dynamics, family groups, soul alignments, awakening our own DNA. And it comes through telepathy. So telepathy has to be ignited within you, the ability to channel, ability to allow these messages to flow through you and no longer poo-pooing them with the logical mind, right? And telling ourselves that we're too airy-fairy or whatever. See them, if you are unsure if it is or isn't, then ask for validation, ask for signs, ask for those who outside of you to give you validation, spirit to talk through that somebody else outside of you, and they say something that's right in line with, oh my God, I was just thinking that, and now you've given me confirmation, that sort of thing. Or watching someone on YouTube or something that gives you that confirmation, or opening up a book and it has it there, or all of a sudden, you're getting this information about Mother Earth and to dig, and then all of a sudden a dog keeps digging up something in your backyard. Why are you digging? Oh yeah, I got that message about digging, I want to, I don't know, there's all sorts of ways that this could happen, right? It's absolutely massive. But there is a definite reawakening of secrets that were held in those times, that were put in a place of, and that's literally in reflection of our intuitive mind, that was kind of like, we're going to hold those secrets within us. We kind of know that there's something there, but every time we tried in the past to bring it up, then we got persecuted for it. But we know now is the time. Why is now the time? Because there is many souls that have come from higher frequencies, other planets. They've literally dropped their frequency into being born, into being a human, specifically to be a bridge for these higher frequencies, so that it awakens many, many, many others. And that could be that off planet, like other planets, or it could have been other dimensions within human on Earth herself. So there's portals around here that can take you into all these different frequencies that are on Earth and everything. So much. I just got a big yellow thing on my chat bar. Thank you so much, Maggie. Thank you for that donation. I just realized how many people are on the chat bar this morning. That's so beautiful. So hi, Maggie. Hi, Flower. Hi, Joe. Hi, Robin. So good to see you guys from UK. Janine. Hey, Cheryl. Margaret. Wow, just so many people. The wood, I have to like the woo and the poo. I like that, the poo and the poo, Florida. Sky, good to see you, Sky. Oh my gosh, so much coming through Mother Earth at the moment. So she says, she's saying, take your freaking shoes off. Get your feet in the mud. Get your feet in the grass. Get your feet in the water. Whatever you feel, like start to connect with her again. We have been so separated from her with wearing plastic between her and us. She literally doesn't know the food, the minerals that we need, because we our leftovers are all flushed down a toilet, right, and taken to somewhere that's completely different to where our land is and stuff. So usually, animals, they poo and pee everywhere, right? Talk about poo. and then Mother Earth knows what kind of minerals need to be growing in the grass that they eat, so that they keep balance, they keep healthy. We don't even have that, right? But at the least, she says, if you can, take all your clothes off and go for a swim, skinny dip in some stream somewhere, if you can. Start to connect. It's a connection that you'll feel. It's an understanding of you being part of the environment again. This is another thing that they poo-pooed, because they wanted us to feel guilty about being in alignment with her, as in and our naked bodies in alignment with her. So go, if you've got the privacy in your backyard, go sunbathe naked or something, but definitely more than anything, walk around your grass barefoot. And I'm sure lots of you do that are listening to me, but some of us don't. I honestly, I've got to do it a lot more. I do it as much as I can. Put your hands in the dirt, that sort of thing, because she wants to feel our vibration again. She wants to connect with us. If you go near rocks or cliffs or mountains, put your forehead on the mountain, just stay there. Don't expect anything, but just stay there and feel into it. Just let her feel into you. She's saying that when you start to observe her and the wonders of her, the trees and everything, the trees and the mountains start to see you. She sees you through your connection to her. So when you observe the snowflakes fall or the rain fall, the rain starts watching you. When you observe the trees start watching you. It starts to become a symbiotic connection between you again. That's going to help reawakening these DNAs that are locked in you, that hold this wisdom, this magic, that's going to you're going to go, oh my gosh, I know where to go now for this, and this. You could have been, if you're from your soul's from another planet or something like that, then you could have been an observer of the times, like a guide of those that were doing the shamanic, closing off that magic, and putting the spells over that magic to keep it hidden from those that were imbalanced. And so then you are going to find when you start to connect, like be the observer of everything, these DNAs start to awaken within you. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I know where to go, even though I'm from another planet, to help guide humanity to awaken that they had to hold in secret passages and secret caves and underground scenarios, and that they will then go there to reawaken them. And so and it could be that groups are pulled together and the groups are starting to come within themselves, and then they, it doesn't worry her if we use, earphones or something that's electronic, and that everything comes from earth and is part of her anyway. But she's realigning us to the more magic so that we can actually learn to not just survive but thrive with her again, like really literally trust her magic. She gives everything freely. She always has. The feminine side is that it's a nurturing side. It gives everything freely, and it doesn't have any, so it holds doesn't hold tight to anything like from the logical mind that feels it needs to hang on to everything because it's scared it's not going to happen again. And then we end up being these hoarders, and we never are open to the freedom of abundance flowing through us. And she will always gift us the food, the water, everything. And when we awaken ourselves as specific people in alignment with the energies of the waters that are purely running from Earth's magic, from her heart, from her desire of what it should be in the authentic state. And so those people will put their hands in the waters, and they will remember within themselves the link of those pure waters when they were a soul way back when those pure waters run. And then they can literally cleanse the water of the river. Oh my gosh, that is such a code just to come through right there, right? So you can kind of see just from that one code that came through there, and the understanding of us aligning with our soul's wisdom again, allowing the magic to come through. Yes, I was somebody who was around in a human form when that water was pure, and so forth, for when those gifts were hidden, telepathy, telekinesis, teleportation, astral traveling, astral bouts, the alignment was so much more. The magic of the wisdom of the auroras that fell from, that were connecting the energy alignments of Earth herself. The rainbows hold specific codes as well. But when we come from our purest form, when we come from our alignment of our state of mind that is completely in sync with that pure form again, then we are healing. We are healing that was imbalanced. It's only held imbalanced because of our looking outside ourselves, and then listening to those that were also imbalanced, telling us that we have to, wear rubber on our shoes and wear this and wear that, and we can only fly through with something that we build in aeroplanes and so forth. There's no magic within you. There's no magic within you. They don't know about that magic within you. And if they did, if they were of frequencies that did, they held you hostage because they didn't want you to know, because then they wouldn't be in charge anymore. So this is all about taking our power back, aligning with Mother Earth. And because of the things that they are going to do, those that are in power right at this moment, when they are going to try to cull only specific, because they can't control everybody. They wanted to cull everybody back, and it's not working. So then they're going to keep with their plans, but there's too many of us that are awoken that didn't listen to them way back, and we're holding this frequency for others to awaken. And so they aren't going, it's going to be a transition. It's not going to be, You know, always a transition when you let go of something that you've been reliant on it for so long, and then you change and you try, and then you start to grow your own food and so forth. You'll start to delight in all of that, but there's no more need to fight that you don't need anymore. But there is a transition that will happen between, you know, the seeds that are planted and the food that is grown, and then the land that is um, accumulated through certain groups and dynamics that want to share that land and that sort of thing. They have more trust in the sharing and the giving and the in all of that, because they have more trust and faith within themselves. It's still a transition of these times because so many have not awoken as well. So it's only going to be little groups that start to do this, which will bleed out to bigger as well. But definitely, though, within those groups that start to become clearer within themselves, are going to ignite these cells within them of understandings of what their soul's journey went on and what their DNA soul's journey went on. So you have two histories that you can tap into. You have the history of your soul's history and all of that alignment, that it's gone from life to life to life, and it could have gone, you know, it could have even been a flower at one moment, a butterfly at the next, and then it's a human, and then it's, you know, and then it's flown off this planet, become something else. But usually when you're a human, you've got trapped into a cycle of reconstituting being a human. You've been a human throughout those last generations because we were stuck in a mindset that we couldn't see with outside of that. But the soul has a very long history of many, many different things, unless you've come straight from another planet. And then you have your DNA history. So your body that you have at the moment holds magic within it that can be awoken. And when you align your soul's magic or your soul's wisdom with the understanding of the DNA's wisdom, then that just starts to spark. Say, for instance, you were a soul from another planet, and then you were born into this like I'm born into this body. I come straight from the Pleiadians and so forth, and I'm born straight into this body. My soul has understandings that the Pleiadians actually talked to and taught humanity back in the Atlantis Lemuria age and before. And so then the codes that my body holds, because my mother held a lot of codes. She was absolutely a witch, persecuted life after life. She is the most bravest soul I have ever freaking met. And because she has gone through everything that she's gone through, I could be born through her, but I'm going to be igniting those things that in maybe one life I was the observer of, or maybe I taught in the Atlantis age, but I can now ignite those things within the soul, that's this body that has carried the DNA link, that is not completely, you know, degraded it by ignoring it for thousands of years. Where my mum didn't. She tried to keep it going, and same with my grandmother and so forth. Or you could be that you were one of those that held all those codes and the understandings, and you were a witch or a so-called wizard or something like that, and or in the elemental world, and you went back and forth from elemental world to human world, or just humans, you know, whatever. But you held on to that code. When you start to align with the truth of who you are and understanding your soul's evolution, you will start to awaken maybe the secrets that when you did hide those secrets, oh my God, I got to bring them back up again and start to, you know, and it will come through the heart as a passion, a desire, a yearning to learn something. But then what might happen is you might click on something that you really want to learn. And when you click on it, someone has a little bit of the information, but you have way more. And all of a sudden it goes ding, ding, ding. You start to ignite. Oh my God, I know way more. Write it down. Like, start to embrace it within yourself and allow the universe or your outside world to take you where you need to go. Allow Mother Earth to take you to where you need to go. If you need finances or something, ask her for it. She is abundance, and so she will also, through the food that people eat, if they have the money and they are hoarding it, she might awaken specific people to start to share it with you, because you have the DNA that aligns with this magic that's going to be awoken, and they don't, but they have the abundance because they've learned how to do the logical mind a lot more. So there's all this kind of symbiotic thing that happens when we start to embrace who we are within ourselves through the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere starting to come together, and understanding that the core essence of all that is source energy, which resides as the soul in the pineal gland. And then it opens up all these other frequencies of the cells of the bodies that's been holding wisdom within you. You have codes within you. It's so interesting. Yeah, just so much. Robin, I like that. Yeah. Wow, I love the reminder of synchronicities. Just today, I bumped into a friend today and she gave me some riding boots that are for my sister, signed for me to ride, get on that horse and ride. Like there are secrets or messages within us to actually link us with the horses. You know, those movies that are coming out like Avatar and that, where they entwine their hair with the mane of the horse and so forth. We already have this. We have this within us to be able to be part of that horse. We are part of that horse. I remember being in shows, and my mother had an Arab, she used to breed Arab horses, but she ended up breeding just from a horse that she bought for $400 just as a riding horse, but she was pure Arab back in New Zealand. And she wasn't considered anything majorly, you know, amazing horse or anything, but we put her in a show that was the Christchurch AMP show. It was a big show, and I was going to be leading her. And I remember thinking, get me to lead her, because I knew that I could tap into her and I could bring out something that other horses might not have been brought out by their leaders. So, or the, you know, people that are holding the rein. Anyway, so I ended up showing her in this ring, and we got first place, because when I ran with her, I literally floated myself. And as I was flicking my feet and floating like that, I was imagining it happening. She started to do it, and she has the most beautiful pace. And so she it was a perfect pace, you know, how they float kind of thing. And then we went in the semifinals and the finals, and we were up against, you know, the one that come first is the yearling, and the one that come first is the stallion. And the stallion that was being led, he was a silver stallion that was syndicated by 4 other people brought through from USA. And I did the same thing again with this mare that had she had pretty shit feet, actually. Her feet weren't the best, but she was a brood mare. And she did this, and she won Supreme Champion. So this is what I mean by we have these things within us where we can connect, and why Mother Earth keeps bringing through. When you see them, they see you. There's more to us and animals than just seeing something. There's this feeling that comes between us, and understanding. That is telepathy. That is channeling. She wants us to get into that, because when we start to get into that, we start to connect to all that flourishes on earth. And she then knows what she needs to grow for us. She then knows what we actually want, so that we can expand our reality. She loves it when we make things beautiful. We are earth as well. We are just as important as every other life being on this planet. Stop belittling ourselves that we aren't. When we belittle ourselves, we cut ourselves off from our magic. And she wants us to be magical on this planet. We're here for purpose. She wants, we have the arms and the legs. We can actually move separately from her to create, to put the hands on and make things that are beautiful. And she loves it. She loves it when we create beauty. But the difference is instead of the past, that we are connected through energy, we are connected through channeling, we are connected through telepathy, we are understanding each other. You know, I'm pruning this bush to create this beautiful thing, and the bush knows where it's going and knows that you're pruning it to look beautiful, and Mother Earth loves it, and that sort of thing. It's different. It's not like she can grow all these things wild, but she also grew us too, and we have the capacity to see beauty where even more so. You look at the Japanese gardens, you look at those, when you walk through something like that, that is just magnificent. That is, you know, nature itself plus humanity putting its piece in it. The beauty that comes out of that, the alignment, is just so gorgeous. You know, there's nothing wrong with manipulating some of Earth, so long as we are connected with her and have an understanding of that. And yes, there are some things that grow wild that are beautiful. That's absolutely gorgeous too. But don't limit yourself too, because she wants us to be part of her. But she also, first thing is we need to find balance, to find our ability to read into energies, to read into her energy, to read into the water's energy. And that the only reason why it's become unstuck is because we've become so unbalanced. The masculine energy has taken over so much that it's just tried to see everything from an outside point of view, and it never had an understanding of the life behind that, the energy behind that, and where it really wants to go. And so we ended up disregarding the alignments, and we ended up making a mess. And that's why everything was shut down all those eons ago, and all the secrets were held and put in specific, you know, literally the secrets have been held in through the DNA line, and also on Earth, Mother Earth herself. But that's why that happened, because of this disimbalance that we had to go through, so that we didn't muck up other dimensional spaces. We didn't muck up other things that she didn't want us to touch. But can you imagine, we only know so much with our logical mind and what this world is about. Can you imagine all those secrets coming forth now, but they can only be ignited when we find balance within ourselves. That's the only way that can happen, when we truly are in sync with the nature of all things, because we're in sync within ourselves. Yeah. So cool. Erica, I've been seeing DNA strand a lot randomly, intuitively in my mind. There might be a connection here. Yes. So, so there's a connection within your DNA. There's something that wants to be awoken within you. So what happens when something's awoken within you? It could be that when you were a child, you really had a passion for it, and then it died down because they were poo-pooed or whatever. Or it could be that it was a past life that's coming through. But what happens is you start to feel a passion, a desire, like, oh my God, I'm so excited about learning about that. Please, as you go along, because you could be the forefront, you could be the one that guides others, you could be the one that's igniting more of the mystery, more of the magic. Take what other people say, like if you're in alignment and you go on YouTube or something, you seek that kind of thing, just remember that something could be ignited within you that's an all-knowing, and it literally feels that way. It's like, oh my God, I know this, but I know more. Oh my God, I know more. That's how I channel. That's how I understand. Like, I'll actually can watch something, usually it's of some sort of space thing, a craft or something like that, and I'll go, oh my God, I know more than what they're saying. Could be that you're taken into, history, ancient history or something like that, and then all of a sudden all this understanding comes through your it's knowing. It's not even, if you're starting to doubt it, or you could ask, because but the thing is, when you're in alignment with yourself, the doubt doesn't even happen, they're telling me. It's like when there's an all-knowing, it's just an all-knowing. And when the doubt comes in, then maybe you should address it as an imagining and just seek advice outside of you if you are on the right path. It could be one or the other. It could be that your logical mind is still not in balance with you, and so it takes over. Or it could be that you're using your imagination just to grasp something that wasn't real for you, that you just want to feel special. It's still coming from the ego. So just be aware of those two things that can come through that align you with still disalignment. This feels like absolute. It's a truth that's within you. It's the only way I can describe it. It's yeah, they're reminding me now of when I was with my girl's dad, and I knew our history. There was a body, like my body had a history, right? And there was alignment with my family, with his family. And when I went into it, I started to understand that he, like, all of this story started coming up. And when we first met, we'd actually mentioned a log cabin and a fireplace, and I could actually ask him where would the fireplace be, and it would be in the same place where I thought it was, and all that sort of thing. But then I woke up one morning, and I knew he had. Well, I knew he had murdered me, or he had murdered somebody in my DNA family bloodline. And I knew it so absolute that I jumped out of bed, and I was so afraid of him. And he's like, "Are you okay?" Trying to help. And I'm like, "Get away." Oh my God, backed in onto the wall. Must have looked really weird. But it was all this fright just came up because I had asked at the beginning of the year to face all my fears. So I had to face my DNA fears as well. And so all this stuff came out of my ancestral lineage, of their family, my family. And then there was the German War, and his mother thought she was in German, and she was always going on about how cool the Germans are. My mum was having dreams of being in the Holocaust as a Jew and taken over, just and being gassed in a train station. So it was all this crossover. But was all my DNA history that I was wanting to clear. I was wanting to face it and clear it. So that can happen as well when you wake up. As well. So be aware of those sort of scenarios. But many of us, now that Mother Earth is talking to, have done all that work, or it's not that and please don't think that if you still got to do that work because you're a witch or a wizard that's still waking up, please don't think that, oh my God, I'm lagging behind or anything like that. No, this is divine timing with specific energies that are waking up in specific times. And we all have a piece of the puzzle. Not one of us can be misaligned. So just allow that process to happen in the time that it happens. Don't get down on yourself if you feel like you're lagging behind somebody else that you see that's already cleared stuff. It's okay. Like, I cleared stuff earlier because I have a stronger connection to the Pleiadians, which I don't have all the lineage that I had to clear from my soul going on those journeys and bodies and humans. But then when your magic, when the witches and the wizards start to awaken in this world, they hold the actual codes to awaken all these mysteries that have been held in lock and key on Earth, on Mother Earth, and in the waters, and all of that being brought back up. So that's why I mean there's specific timelines that are happening with each and every one of us. So please don't ever get down on yourself if you're like, oh my God, I'm still doing the shadow work. That's absolutely perfect for you, right? Just allow it, just allow it, just allow it. Just keep on allowing it. So, yeah, so much is happening at the moment with this alignment. We do have this spark of consciousness of the light workers starting to take place as their guide, at being the guides, the new guides of the new earth that are coming through. They all have a definite connection to those off-world planet beings. And then we're going to have the witches and the wizards coming through, their magic starting to ignite, and then they start to understand where they have, because it's not only alignment within your body and DNA awakening, but when that awakens, all of a sudden you'll have a pull to go to a specific place, a specific area, or just put your hands in the water in the stream so that you can let that magic, that wisdom of the Atlantis Lemuria age run through the waters or the vein of Mother Mother Earth herself, connecting. They're bringing me to when I was on a river with the Cherokee elder. She was telling us about a specific I don't know what you call it, no, it's not a spell or anything, a thing that they did way back when they would take a follicle of your hair. Can't even see, my hair is so fine, right? But a follicle of your hair, and then uh, put the intention of yourself in the water. So you let it go in the water, and then as you awaken, so do all of those. So does the water, and so the magic of the water starts to awaken with the understanding. And then somebody else in your country, your town, drinks that water. See, this is why we have to go back to the purity of water. And then they drink that water, it wakens them up to that wisdom as well that they held within their DNA and so forth. So we're awakening each other up as we go along here. Yeah, there's so much more to us, and we are going to be so surprised when we take our power back, and when we're trusting that intuition, the soul's guidance again, where we can actually go with Earth herself, because we're going to then combine the past history of learning how to create outside of ourselves with material world and all of that sort of thing with our soul's lineage, and that combination that we have that comes together is going to create such magnificence, such beauty on this earth. Mother Earth is looking forward to that, but it will not be through fear of somebody controlling us. We will always have the capacity to walk away from something that is trying to control us. We don't give it any attention anymore. We learn how not to give things attention that we don't want in our life, and where to steer our attention into what we really love. And and how to trust, not only trust Earth to grow the foods and so forth, but what seeds to plant where. It's not going to be, the farming's going to change from just one thing that needs pesticides because there's no weeds around it to form balance within that field, to understanding that certain things will grow with certain things that find a symbiotic balance to allow only a certain amount of bugs to come in, not be infested by the bugs and so forth. There's a symbiotic balance that comes with learning to connect back to Earth and understand how she nurtures us, and then we get nurtured, and then we start to have more wisdom on where to plant what seeds and so forth. So see what I mean? It's just this connection that happens between, if you don't grow your own food, or it's not your thing to grow your own food, then ask to be in alignment with somebody that is growing their own food, and have faith and trust in that they will have that and so forth. Not everyone is going to, yes, we should probably all grow our own food in some way or another, but we're going to have to learn to share. Like if we all turned our front lawns into, okay, I'm going to grow the tomatoes this year, and then someone's like, oh, I'll grow the cucumbers this year, and that sort of thing. But we've still got to also remember the flowers and that need to be grown with it, not just one field. They're saying that's very compartmentalized, logical. Also, the fences will start to diminish, because the fences are only an outside reality of trying to protect, trying to control, and trying to own specific parts of Mother Earth, because they were trying to do that with the logical mind, what loves to compartmentalize everything. But when you bring in the soul's lineage and the intuitive mind, all of a sudden you just have faith. You have trust that you're on a whole planet, not just a part of a planet. You don't own anything. You are the Earth herself. You are part of that nature coming through. So beautiful. Gosh, there's so many chit-chatty chats happening here. So good to see. I'm so happy to see. I'm not reading them all, but love to see you guys chit-chatting in the chat bar and connecting. See what else comes through, if anything else comes through. Can you see that she's asking us, can you imagine this whole new world where no fences are up, where we don't need fences, where you can jump on a horse, right, and just gallop across the moors, the freedom that we have. We're gifting ourselves freedom by stopping hoarding, by stop controlling everything. We're gifting ourselves the freedom that was already in existence. And this is through understanding that we are part of Earth, Mother Earth herself, and she's part of us. Um, the abundance comes from that support and understanding. So yeah, there's so much more that we can accomplish here when we stop. And don't try to force anything, she says, like, just because, don't feel guilty. This is the worst thing you can do, is feel guilty. Okay, today I might go shopping, at a local supermarket, a big corporation supermarket. If I walk into there and I feel guilty, I'm already hooked into the fear-based scenario that keeps that alive. If you walk into there and go, okay, I'm getting my food from this at the moment, but this is going to change. We are going to change it. We're going to keep on moving towards and using our imagination to change it. And slowly but surely, we will find the right people or the right land, and it will happen. And we're constantly imagining that scenario. We're no longer fueling and feeding that we're afraid of and getting angry with. The prices have gone up, and that orange is, pesticide ridden and all that sort of stuff. Follow your advice, but please don't fall into their fear game and their guilt game and their trying to control game, because that's going straight back into an imbalanced scenario again. Yes, we have to use what we have to use around us, and always, but do it with a lighter heart. Do it with a feeling of allowing our imagination to come in to see something beyond what that is. When a massive group of us starts to focus in on aligning ourselves with Mother Earth and having that freedom and no fencing and just allowing everything to grow for us and healthy again, then when a lot of us do that, it will happen, because that's literally how they closed us off, by programming us with the TVs and stuff like that, programming us into thinking very little about ourselves, and that we can only survive with their help, yeah, so that too. They don't, Mother Earth does not, it's a transition. It's a transition. So don't allow us to feel into the guilt. The guilt kept us stuck. So it's a transition out of guilt, out of victimization, and into empowerment and trusting our imagination again to work for us. And then our intuition to come in and guide us where we need to go, and all of that sort of thing. Don't feel guilty if you come into money and you can use that money for something really grandiose or whatever. Don't feel guilty if you own a lot and someone doesn't, or all that sort of stuff. When you stop with the guilt, you stop with the control, you then feel into, I am whole again, and then you will allow more people to come into your life to share. It's like that fear of hoarding has come from our own controlling, and so it creates this separatedness of everyone. And then we have the fences up, and then we're like hearing somebody have a party over there, right? And like, damn, that would have been a fun one to go to. But no, we can't, because we've fenced ourselves in and we're just us, But we all have this yearning to connect again, to unite with Mother Earth, with each other, and sharing our gifts again, I've always had this beautiful scenario where there's a massive, huge building that's being created where people can come in, and there's an awesome kitchen, marble granite kitchen, whatever, stone walls and stuff, and just beautiful. And then, everyone comes in as they want to and starts, doing the cooking and stuff like that, because when you get into groups like that, you automatically start to move into what you really want to do. And so you might be, I love cooking for everybody. So you're putting in your energy into the cooking. That's how you're helping heal others. Others might be in another room doing yoga or something and connecting to themselves. And then there'll be like, in the massive block of land, little hubs of cabins where people have their own private space and can create their own gardens if they want. But then there's like rolling fields of, mowed lawns and stuff like that, with the stream running through, and then teepees pulled up for schooling. And I just see all this stuff. Like, I don't know, there's just so much more. We get our easels out and we start to paint. And then there's groups and classes that are being developed of creativity. And we don't have so many cares in the world. There's not this process of having to follow, sign here, sign on the dotted line, that person owns that. How much energy has gone into all of, paying bills and making sure that we've done everything right and not been in trouble with the law. So much energy has gone into separating ourselves. We don't realize when all that energy is gone, we don't have it anymore, how much freedom we actually have, and we can gift ourselves into a whole new world, a beautiful new world. And Mother Earth wants us to do that. She wants us to become part of her, And more of us that start to imagine these things, keep imagining them, go to sleep, have those imaginings coming into your head before you go to bed. When you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my God, what's today going to bring? If you just imagine the whole new world coming in, the more we start to focus in on that, the more it's going to happen. Because what happens is that energy aligns with that. Our actions align with that. The people that come in align with that. And we start to lose the fear and lose trying to control each other as well. So yeah, okay, guys, I think I will leave it there. She loves speaking through me to you guys and letting you guys know of where we're going. It's so beautiful. She wants to bring through more, so I'm going to have to do some more of these channel messages with her, because she wants to spark some of you guys in your DNA and understanding some of this mystery that was hidden. Yeah. And also I am thinking of, I probably shouldn't bring it up now. It's in my vortex to create a tutoring module with these channelings. Yeah, so I have written through a few titles already for that, and I'll just bring that up. So it's going to be like Mind Align with Matter was course 1. Course 2 is Deepening with Your Soul's Connection. Course 3 is the pineal gland. Course 4 is Dreams. Course 5 is Telepathy and Channeling. Course 6 is Awakening Your Gifts. But that's just at the moment. I've just started thinking about it this morning. I'm probably going to create a course and we'll just see how it goes. Yeah, so just to align with more magic. So, and I'll probably just, put a simple price on each one of them, so it's not too elaborate or anything, so anyone can kind of purchase them. So if you're interested in that, yeah, I think I'm aligning with that anyway. Love you guys heaps. In the meantime, anyway, whatever comes through me, I freely give on YouTube. If you want a one-on-one reading with me, the link's down below in my intuitive counseling readings. and that'll give you more insight to who you are. If you do the Starseed mission, I've put the price up because I usually do a good 20 to 30 minute meditation beforehand and really get into your soul alignment. Yeah, so in the meantime, I'll just bring out whatever's going to happen. And yeah, so we'll leave it at that. And I love you guys heaps. Thank you so much. Okay, bye.